So welcome. This is a 40-minute Bowspring practice. It's bright and early this morning, so I'm feeling the post wake up and get out of bed feels, and Bowspring is a great remedy for that. So please sit up tall, reach your arms forward and touch the tips of your fingers together for globe hands. Just 3 cycles of breath to connect to your center. Deep breath in. And then deep breath out. Again, full breath in. And full breath out. And last one. And then please blink open your eyes, lean forward and make your way into all fours position, hands and knees. Here in all fours, just slowly wake up your spine with what are called cat-cow. So round your back as you exhale, and then arch your back as you inhale. So just pulsating between the 2 end members of the spectrum for the flexibility of your spine. And much like a pendulum going back and forth eventually stops in the middle due to gravity, find yourself slowing down into a place that's a neutral spine. One that isn't flat like a tabletop, but where there's a slight roundedness in your upper back and a little arch in your low back. And then lean over to your right side, lift your left leg out, open leg position, and rise onto your left fingertips. Move your hips towards your right heel. Push the right knee, the one that's on the ground, out to the right to feel your glutes get stronger as you lift the left knee a little higher. And then final stage, just to test the balance, is you can lift your left hand and cup the back of your head, hug your elbow in, and breathe to hold. Okay, then lower your hand, bring your hand flat, and switch. Sit over towards your left heel, rise onto your right fingertips, open the knee out to the side, pull the knee forward, move your hips back, push the left knee energetically out to the side, pause to breathe. And then now lift your right hand, cup the back of your head, hug your elbow in. Okay, then go hand down, move your knees back a little bit, tuck your toes under and lift up for crouching cat position. Look forward between your hands, bend your knees, tilt your sit bones up into the air. Then move your right foot a little closer to your left foot, lift your left leg out to the side just as you did. Rise onto your left fingertips. You can even tilt your right ear to your right shoulder option to create a little bit of a pulse of bicycle action with your left leg. And then lower your left foot down, lower your left hand down, open your right leg out to the side, rise onto your right fingertips, and option again to do a little bit of a bicycle action with the right leg, open leg. Okay, then lower your foot down and slowly step a little bit forward towards your hands. Have your feet hip distance apart or a little wider, and then inhale, just rise up to stand. Place your hands to your knees for recovery position. In recovery position, push your knees forward and use that to move the tops of the thighs back so you get a little arch in your low back. At the same time, tuck your chin in and breathe into your upper back. Move the back ribs further behind you and then even up. So you get the rounded shape in your upper back, but it's not the whole body because there's a little arch in your low back. And then as you have your hands on your knees, slide the hands a little bit more to the outside of the knees and then push them outwards, but resist back like your hands are a wall. And as you push the knees out, try to widen your upper inner thighs and get your glutes stronger and more engaged. And then on an inhale, float your arms straight forward. Bend your elbows, cup the back of your head. Point your elbows straight forward. Push your head back into the resistance of your hands. Lift the forearms up, lift the whole rib cage up as you drop the hips down, and arc over towards the right. As you arc to the right, tilt your right ear to your right shoulder, lift the left side rib cage up higher. You're welcome to add a pulse. Pulse can be bending and extending your legs, or it could also be coming out of the pose and going back in, just embracing and enjoying the stretch through your side body. And then on an inhale, come up and go over to the other side, arc over to the left, tilt left ear to left shoulder, lift the right side rib cage up. Option to create a little bit of a pulse. And then come all the way back up. Place your hands to your knees again, recovery position, pause, push the knees forward, move your hips back, then reach your arms forward, going back to what we did. Arc over towards the right, so first side, second time. This time, option to take your right hand lower and hold the outside of the left knee. As you lean to the right, push the left knee out as you pull back with the right hand. Tilt over to the side, lift the rib cage more, move your hips back, create that pull-push action with your knee and hand as you twist from right to left. Okay, on an inhale, slowly rise up. Just float the arms forward. Brief little interlude shake and arc over towards the left. Tilt, lean, and then getting lower, take your left hand, reach it underneath you towards the outside of the right knee. Gently pull the knee with the left hand, push out with the right knee, twist from left to right, push your head back into your hand, lift your chin, lift your elbow up, move your hips further back, breathe deeply, and then come all the way up. Touch your hands in globe hands position, and then step your feet wide. Stepping your feet wide. This time, join the hands together and place your thumbs to the top of your head. Bend your knees forward so you can move the hips back. Point your elbows forward so you can broaden through your upper back. Push up through the top of your head. And then on an exhale, start to hinge forward. Pause at about the 45-degree angle position. Knees bent, staying strong. Another breath in. And on your next exhale, tilt further forward till your torso is parallel to the floor. Holding strong, arching the low back. Option here to push the legs straighter in this place that requires both strength and flexibility. And then one more breath in. And as you exhale, touch your fingers all the way down into dome hands positions on the floor. And dome hands isn't to weight bear, to put the weight down necessarily, but just something that you can get to do a little tap on the floor. If you do got some energy in you, you're welcome to spring a few times hopping on the spot, but that's not necessarily where we're going for this practice. So here, cup the back of your head with your right hand, push your head down, up into your hand, move your hips back, and then lift your left hand to hover, pause, and hold. Option with your left hand to hold the outside of your right elbow. Gently nudge the elbow in, but resist back and push your elbow out into your hand as you broaden through your upper back. One more breath in, and then take a pause. Dome hands, just put a little bit of weight into your hands to give the legs a slight break. And then now cup the back of your head left, point your elbow down, bend your knees, move your hips back, hover the right hand, hold the outside of the left elbow, pull the elbow in, push out with the elbow, broaden through the upper back, keep an arch in your low back. One more breath in, and then slowly lower both hands down. To rise up, cup the back of your head, both hands, push your head into your hands, and inhale, slowly rise all the way up. And step your feet together. Nicely done. Look forward on your mat if you adjusted like me. And then touch your hands into globe hands position. Lean over towards your right foot. take a little step forward with the left, and then push your foot forward, the dig action. The dig action to push the foot forward to then move your hips back. And then now drag your foot back to lift it into the air. Tilt forward into propeller position, pausing to hold here. Having both knees bent at near a 90-degree angle. Tilt forward. You're welcome to add a little bit of a pulse. And then use this position to step back into the short lunge position of Bowspring. The lunge that is always ready to be active and to move. Place your hands to your knees. Push your knees forward and move your hips back. Embrace the curve of the low back. Reminder, it's not just all one curve. There's a matching curve going the other way in the upper back to keep the spine neutral. Place the hands to the outside of the knees, push your knees out so the legs get stronger, and then float your arms forward. Globe hands position. Lean forward, push off of your back foot to lift it up into the air. Bend the left knee further and reach behind you with your right hand, opposite hand to foot, dancer's position. Extend your left arm forward, kick your foot back, lift your chin, breath in. And then on an exhale, hinge forward, tap down, and come back up. We'll do that 4 times total. Tap and rise. And tap and rise. And last one. Woo. And then pause, globe hands position. Just sway a little bit from side to side, just to see how the legs are feeling, getting a little warmer. Buns in the oven. And then a little step forward with your right foot. Push your right foot forward, dig, move your hips back. Pull your right foot back, drag, as you lift it into the air behind you. Tilt forward. Opportunity to create a little bit of a pulse. It's over 8 years since the first time I did a Bowspring class, and I changed Warrior 3 forever to a variation like this, or at the time it was taught with arms like this, but it's so much more functionally appropriate to do Warrior 3 with bent knees than straight legs. Step your foot back, and you can make the same argument for a lunge position. This is a position we'll be active in quite often, especially in sports. Very rarely in sports are we in a lunge like this, except to stretch. But what if the active position can also be the stretching position? And one way to do that is to move the hips back and then just pulse the front leg a little bit straighter. And if you're less flexible, you'll feel the intensity of that stretch right away. Now lean forward, push off of your back foot, lift it into the air this time. Left hand reaches for right foot, right arm forward, kick your foot back, lift your chin, and then on an exhale, hinge forward, tap down, and come back up. Again, tap, and come up. 2 more. And last one. Whew. Okay, and then coming up, lower your foot, lean to your right foot, and place your left foot to your inner ankle, inner shin, upper inner thigh for just tree. I'm a big fan of bending the standing leg just a little bit in tree. Also bending the lifted leg. If not, it's not really tree. And then instead of globe hands, you can make 2 soft fists and join them together, 2 seeds. Push the hands into each other so your arms get activated and strong. Doing a little bit more movement on this one. So the transition will be move your left knee forward, swing your left leg back, similar to what we did, but bring the top of your foot to the floor. And then slowly lower the top of your shin down. So just below the knee, move your hips back towards the left heel. With your left foot, pull the toes forward so the ankle actually gets higher up and you grip onto your mat. And then with your arms, make a wide sweeping arc over to the left. Place your left hand down and then right hand to the top of your head. The advantage of the top of the head is you can push your head into your hand, reach the elbow further, tilt your left ear to your left shoulder, use your right foot pushing in front of you to move your hips back towards the left heel. Lift the right side rib cage higher up into the air. Okay, then push off of the left hand to slowly rise up. Float your arms forward. And then lift your right foot completely, one shin balance, balancing to hold. Smile, relax, relax, relax. And slowly slide your leg back so the legs are in line with each other in a kneeling position. Then go genie arms. In genie arms, hook your elbows with your fingers and begin to twist towards the left. And recognize that it's not how far your arms go. Start to twist your chest towards the left, and it doesn't go very far without leverage. Imagine your elbows are on a shelf that you could pull down on to get the leverage to lift up higher that way. But instead of hooking on and pulling yourself deeper into a twist, use the core muscles to take you as far as is functionally appropriate, and then back to center and twist over towards the right. So just seeing from the front side for me, twisting to the right. I don't twist very far. See, the center of the chest only twists to about there. When we stand, of course, then the legs can help with the twist a little further. Okay, then release your elbows, reach your arms forward, step your right foot forward, tuck the left toes, push off your foot to step all the way forward. Go into two seeds again. Pause, lean to your left foot, place your right foot to your inner ankle, inner shin, upper inner thigh. If you need to use the hand to support you for this, go for it. One thing I often do with tree variations is we'll bend the standing leg, and then, especially if the foot's to the upper inner thigh, move the right knee a little closer so I can use the right foot to rotate the right inner thigh back, look forward, push your hands into each other, breath in, then slowly swing your leg back, tilt forward, take the top of your foot to the floor, then slowly lower down to the shin, reach the arms forward and wide, and then wide sweeping arc off to the right. So I'll just show different side view of this one. So it's all the way over, right hand down, and then I go left fist is my favorite. It's just the difference with cupping the back of the head. Back of the head might support the neck a bit more, but having the fist to the top of the head, you can push into. So moving the rib cage over the right hand, but at the same time resisting by trying to move your hips further towards the back heel, the right heel in this case. And that's kind of the perpetual struggle of bowspring, is that the two halves of the body are trying to split. And it's a great way to grow taller, to lengthen yourself out intentionally. As you do this as well, push the left foot forward to move the hips further back. As you then push the head into the hand, lift the chin, lift the elbow, lift the side rib cage, feeling buoyant, and push with the right hand to slowly come all the way up. Reach your arms forward and wide, one shin balance, lift your left heel, and then lift your left foot. Whoa, 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 whoa. Slowly transition the leg back, and a version of camel pose where you support yourself, cup the back of your head, point your elbows forward, and then lean back. And you can turn this one into a pulse where you actually sit back towards the heels, get low, and then lift and lean back. Again, low, and then lift and lean. Okay, then reach your arms forward, touch the tips of your fingers down. And the advantage here, especially the first time I ever learned it was like, you can't do this. You can't be on all fours and be on your fingertips. The point is to not weight bear, to have the fingers down so you're putting more weight into your legs. The legs are so strong and can support you. And then once you feel you've got the weight in your legs and you're not just dumping into your wrists, it's a great source of resolving wrist pain is just putting more weight into your legs. Lean over to your right and lift your left leg out to the side, very similar to what we did at the beginning. Make a fist with your left hand, except this time lower your left knee and reopen your leg. And we often call this jog at a fire hydrant. I don't know if we've ever called it anything when it's up and down with the leg, but it can get pretty spicy. Spice hydrant. Okay, next time your knee's out to the side, keep it there. Pull the knee forward, move the knee back, pull the knee forward, move the knee back, forward, back, forward, back. Next time it's forward, keep it forward. Circle one way 3 times. Woo! And then circle the other way 3 times. Woo! Then keep the leg out to the side and just extend the leg straighter. Whoa, last crazy stretch. Okay, lower your knee, lower your hand, and lift up into crouching cat position. You can just pivot your feet side to side. If you've got some energy in you and you want to hop a few times on the spot, go for it. Just an opportunity to wash away or cool down the flames of the glutes. And back to all fours, making a fist with the right hand. Change my angle. Open your right leg out to the side and then lower it down. Open and close. Open and close. Open, close, open, close. Terrible song. Okay, keep your knee out to the side. Hold. Pull the knee forward. Move the knee back. Pull the knee forward. Move the knee back. Forward. Back. One more time forward. Circle one way 3 times. And then circle the other way 3 times. Final stretch. Not excited about this one. Keeping the leg out to the side. Extend your leg straighter. Whoa. Then bend your knee. Lower your knee down. Rise again into crouching cat. This time doing twisted cat. So that's just lifting your heels. Dropping your heels over to the right. Tilt your right ear to your right shoulder. And go onto left fingertips and push the hand forward on the floor to get a stretch through your side body. So it just changes. If you lift the arm, it becomes a bit more of a side plank variation. It stays as a twisted position if you actually keep your hand down and then push out with the left hand. And lift your heels and drop your heels over to the other side. Again, just through what we're comfortable with and what we're used to. We like to lift the arm, but try to keep the right hand down and actually push out as you move back. Hips way back. Press the hand forward. Lift the chin. Breathe deep. Okay, and then back to center. Slowly lower your knees down into all fours. But keep the rib cage lifted. Okay, here in all fours position, move your hips back so that you can rise onto fingertips. And then slowly rise up into globe hands position. In globe hands, move your weight towards your left heel. weight your left leg, step your right foot forward, but instead of stepping it way forward like a typical lunge position and what we did earlier, this time place your right heel to the front of your thigh near your knee, so having the foot all the way down, and then reach your arms forward instead of a wide sweeping arc over to the left, just a soft one over to the left, and bring your hands down. Push your hands forward like you would in down dog or crouching cat. Press your left knee forward as you pull back with the right heel, and move your hips further back. Actively stretch out. And this may get into some sticky places, especially after those fire hydrants out to the side. Okay, then push off with your hands to slowly rise up. Globe hands, trying to transition without using the hands. They're just showing the view from a different direction. Right leg goes back, and then left foot forward, having the foot at the front of the knee. Very similar to infinity pose, if you know that one in the Bowspring syllabus. Then arms forward, arc over to the right, hands down, push your hands forward, move your hips back, press the right knee forward, push the left knee out to the side, and breathe fully. And every stretch is going to be different for everyone, every posture. This is one that's a pretty deep stretch for me. It probably is more than even pigeon is. If you're flexible, you might just be seeking the strength in this position by pulling the left heel back and pushing the right knee into your heel. Okay, and then slowly come up. Go back to globe hands. Swing your left leg back, touch your hands down, tuck the toes under, and gently hop towards the front of your space and rise up, hands in recovery position. Push your knees forward, move your hips back, then float your arms forward. This time what's called Hercules clasp, clasping your hands. Tilt towards the right, lift your left foot, push your foot forward, move your hips back. Pull the foot back to lift it into the air and step your foot behind you. Setting up for side coil position, so turn your left foot in, tilt over towards the right, so you bring your right thigh down to, or right forearm to your thigh, and then place your left hand to your low back. Just ensure that the low back moves in and up. Twist from right to left. And again, what we did in it was called baby mantis, the knee down side body stretch. I like to make a fist with this one and then push the head forward into that as I move the hips back and create a little bit of a pulse, which eventually leads into half moon pose. I'm going to use a block just to make it a bit more accessible. Half moon, pull the left knee forward in line with the hip, so not the leg back behind version, but left knee forward. You could even use the left hand at the front of the thigh to push the knee into, and then extend your leg straighter to the side. Whoa. Okay, and then lower your foot down, push off with the hand to slowly rise up, and Hercules clasp the other direction, the other way you show off the muscles at the gym. Lean to your left foot, jig, drag right. Slowly take the foot back behind you. Shift your weight forward and back as you then tilt forward and go left forearm to your thigh. I bring the back foot, turn it in a bit, lift the heel, and then go right hand into the low back to get a little arch. Twist from left to right. Right hand as a fist, push the head into the hand, lift your chin. Lean forward and then push off And get to a point where you can then push off and hover the foot. Again, using the block, option to go right hand to the front of your thigh, push your knee forward into your hand, resist back by bending your standing leg, lift your chin, twist from left to right. Option to hold the back of your thigh and extend your leg straighter. Oh! And slowly, just a standing forward fold. Not necessarily a common bowspring position to be in a forward fold, but something I've learned from doing bowspring enough is that it's okay to do a forward fold once in a while, just to let the body have that. Okay, then plant your hands, step back, and position yourself in crouching cat. Lift your right foot forward slightly, cross your ankle over your knee, and slowly transition to lower your shin down to the floor. I like to use blocks on this one. So Falcon position, left knee touches the right ankle, push the knees out to the side, use the hands to lift the rib cage up high, and then keep the buoyancy of the rib cage and slowly lower down onto your elbows. Option to turn this into a little bit of a twist. Use your right hand to twist yourself towards the right. Put your elbow down towards the right side of your mat, left elbow, and then push that. I'm using the block here. And then you can prop the right hand on top of the left fist to add a twist to the Falcon position. Okay, if you have twisted, just lower your right hand first so that you can easily come back up, tuck your left toes, make your way back to crouching cat and switch sides. Cross left ankle in front of the right knee. Slowly position the shin down. Move your hips back. Use your hands to lift the rib cage up, push the knees out, and slowly lower down onto the elbows. Using the elbows, pushing down to lift the rib cage up, pull your rib cage forward, lift your chin. And option to twist it so it's left hand out to the side, right elbow down, and then stack left hand on top of a right fist to twist. Okay, and then left hand down, return to center, push your way back to crouching cat, and lower your knees down. That's where I like to use a block to sit in hero's position. And sitting in hero's position, so that's either on your feet or on a block that's between your feet, point your knees forward. And starting by holding your elbow, so what we did earlier, and twisting towards the left, and recognizing that you don't actually twist very far in the human body. The neck's pretty good at twisting, but for the spine, from the base of the spine to your neck, it actually doesn't twist that much without leverage. And of course, then that asks the question of like, how far is too far? So I then would just like to go right hand to the outside of the thigh, and I do that left fist on the top of the head just to encourage the lift through the spine to twist and not necessarily force anything further or go for binds, which are fine to do if that's something you love to do. Just different ways of accomplishing the same thing. The overarching purpose of yoga and these mindfulness practices being awesome. Okay, on an inhale, return to center. Hold your elbows, deep breath in, and twist the other direction from left to right. Again, letting go of any judgments on how far you actually can twist without external support. And then opportunity to add that with your left hand to the outside of your right thigh, right hand to the top of your head. Push your head up into your hand, using your left hand to the outside of your thigh to have leverage to lift taller and twist further if further twisting is where you want to go. Okay, and then towards center, just lean to your left and extend your right leg forward just for a gentle hinge forward, seated forward fold. So lifting up tall. And exhale, forward fold. Getting a comment on the iPads. Joining from YVR, Vancouver Airport. You never know where the Bowspring can help you. If you've ever traveled through San Francisco, they actually have a yoga room in the airport. And then come up and switch sides. So bring your right leg back, extend your left leg forward. Deep breath in to lift tall, and exhale to hinge forward. Okay, slowly come up and just returning to how we began in a seated position. If it's easier cross-legged, go there. Touch the tips of your fingers. Closing with 3 cycles of breath. So deep breath in. And exhale out. Again, inhale. Exhale. Last one. Namaste.